for some it might sound unfair, but I think it's okay, but whatever. So anyway, we have RSVP up 1 game, which is a very interesting game last game. So if you can add that to the little overlay thingy, that would be awesome. Cool. In the bottom left, I got it right this time. Bottom left corner of the map, playing in the blue colors as the Protoss race, currently up 1-0 over Franscar. It's RSVP. With a very interesting strategy last game. That Stalker build was incredibly effective and very... I've never seen anything quite like it. And in the top right corner, currently down 1-0, we're gonna have Franscar. Just have to let him know in the beginning about that. But yeah, I think you're right. We should have 2 best of 3s for RSVP to win this. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a best of 3 here. If RSVP wins this match or the next match, then we're gonna do a best of 1 after that, since the losers bracket was only best of 1, and then we're gonna be done. Whoever wins that is the winner. We're not gonna have a new best of 3 after that. We're not doing that. I know all that there's like technically and this and that, but no, we're not doing that. So RCP again going for a 1 base build here. Very interesting. And Franscar again going for a fairly early pull into fast expand, which is much more standard. I'm not sure if RCP is just going to try the same build again. He's going to go for a very early Dragoon. I guess he wants to just deny scouting, but that doesn't make any sense because this drone has already seen everything. So I have no idea what this Dragoon is doing. This is not making much sense at all. Also, I want to give a shout out to Deathblood, because he hasn't been playing Starbow for a long time. He just popped into the tournament chat and was like, "Hey, I just came to help with the bracket updates and stuff." And he has nothing to gain from that. He just came to do it, and he's been doing it the whole tournament. It's just awesome. And also Soa has been helping with the same thing as well. So shout out to those two for keeping the brackets updated, so I don't have to do everything. And Deathblood wanted to play in this too, but he didn't know about this until yesterday, so he's gonna hopefully try and play in the next qualifier, as well as Moonglade also talked about trying to play in the next qualifier. So we might see some new faces and some interesting games in the next qualifier. But in the meantime, Dragoons, man, seems to be the name of the game. A couple of Dragoons been out already, a third one on the way, and a Stargate. We're gonna go for a very heavy 1 base play from RSVP. RSVP just keeps surprising me with builds. And I like it. I love how you can see players being so diverse with builds, especially in a game that hasn't been explored that much. He seems to have very solid and interesting builds that seem to work, and just throwing his opponent off guard with this Dragoon pressure. He's making a lot of Zerglings to deal with this. In the meantime, though, there's Corsairs. This is kind of interesting because he's forcing out Zerglings with Dragoon, and then he's going for Corsairs, so there's no Hydralisks to defend the Overlords. I don't think he can rift. Yes, he can rift. He can rift home if he needs to, and he's gonna rift as well. So he's gonna save the one Dragoon. He needs to pull back the other one like super fast. Oh, I think no. That Dragoon is just gonna die. Yeah, unfortunately. So if Franscar can just win this best of 3, he's won this series. If he loses this best of 3, RSVP has to win another best of 1 to get this. But here comes the Dragoons with the Corsair. I think the Dragoons should almost go home though. The speed is actually really late, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing to do with this Corsair. He's finally getting his Hydro done. He doesn't have an evolution chamber. The Queens could enrage, but a rage from Queen doesn't really do that much damage versus air, so you can just fly away for a little bit and then come back later and keep doing damage. Like, look at that, he only lost like, yeah, a tiny bit. In the meantime, RSVP is expanding. RSVP is like, feels dominating with his builds. He's just having this really weird and clever builds that are working incredibly well. He's gonna try and pick off this Overlord now. Another Enrage. He's like, even if he doesn't pick off the Overlord, which he actually will, it will still have forced out 70 energy from Queens, which is just so annoying at this point. We really need to keep up with the Inject and Nurturing Swarm and everything. There's finally some Hydras incoming, but not a lot because he's very heavily supply blocked now, and these Corsairs does so much damage. He tries to heal them with Transfuse, I mean Nurturing Swarm, but I don't think that's gonna help much, to be honest, because yeah, he needs to deal with the Corsairs and not save his Overlords. In the meantime, a couple of Zerglings are gonna be annoying in the front base of RCP, and a fly is gonna sit on my head and get stuck in my headphones almost. What was going on there? Okay, he's gone now. That was crazy. So we're gonna go back to the +1 speed lot attack, it seems. Wow. Really, really weird way of getting into +1 speed lots, but hey, it worked. Oh, no, not yet. These Corsairs still do so much damage. I feel it almost could have, one of those Corsairs could have almost been a Sentinel, and he could start harassing workers too, because there was so little anti-air. I don't know, I'm trying to rack my brain thinking if this is like an old Brood War build, but I don't remember seeing like Dragoon into Corsair 1 base. Like I remember like 1 base Sair DT, like kind of Beasted buildish. No, Beasted did that off 2 base, at least at the end, but maybe at the beginning. But this is kind of weird, and again he's going to get his opponent's supply block, and he's going to kill the Overseer. He doesn't really have any DTs to follow that up with though, but the threat of there being DTs incoming is always good to have versus your opponent. It's going to be the +1 Zealots, and it's going to add on a lot of gateways with some. It's going to be a very strong timing attack now. Franscar going for a 3rd base in the meantime, and he's getting lurkers this time. Good. I think he's hitting himself in the head last game, like not getting those lurkers, but he's getting lurkers now, and not trying to get from Mutas. Well, you shouldn't really go from Mutas when there's 4 Corsairs in the air. You could get Respire just to try and snap off with some Scourge though. But he really needs an Evolution Chamber and a couple of Spore colonies just to be safe. Luckily though, we did nerf the Corsair damage versus things like Overlord, so like they used to pop tons of Overlords like so quick, and now it's a little bit more equal to the Brood War Corsair. So +1 nearly complete for our RSVP. It's going to be very interesting to see how strong this push can be. Franscar's been supply blocked for so long. He's also getting Aspire. I know the feeling that Franscar has right now. You feel you're so far behind because you keep getting supply blocked. You feel you don't have anything, so you just throw out a lot of tech and stuff. But usually that's a little bit dangerous to get too tech heavy, because the second you're unsupply blocked, you should get so many units. And now he doesn't really have the income to do that because he's been like making buildings because he felt he had to make something being supply blocked. That can be a little bit dangerous. I don't know if Scourges are going to cut it anymore. There's 4 Corsairs. If he gets like 5 or 6 Corsairs out, there's really nothing Scourges can do anymore unless you catch him. But here goes RSVP with this push. There's a Dark Templar somewhere. I saw it in the production tab. Where are you, Dark Templar? 2 Dark Templars. Did I miss them completely? No, here they come. Okay, good. Didn't miss any harassment. They should probably go out and do some damage as well. There's a Lurker here though. Ooh, kills the Lurker. Very nice. That's actually huge, because right now Franscar has to rely on few but high-tech units to defend, and once he loses one of those units, it's going to be very difficult for him to defend. But he's going to circumvent these Lurkers and just attack through this path. And there's a couple of Lurkers over here. He needs to hold for as long as possible the Zerglings so they don't start attacking the Lurkers. But in the meantime, this is such a big choke though, like you can just walk past these Lurkers over this side. So this is a very strong force from RCP. He cannot deal with Lurkers, but he can avoid them, and he's going to try and avoid them as much as he can. He needs to burrow right away. Really nice burrow position here. He doesn't want to really walk past this. A couple of Scourges picked off 1 Corsair. They can pick off another one. There we go. Oh, picks off a lot of Corsairs. No, oh, there we go. And he got a couple of units knocked past those Lurkers, and it's going to do so much damage. But I think Franscar is going to hold this eventually, but it's very like clutch hold with minimal number of units. And there's 1 Corsair left that's being incredibly annoying. He's just going to make more Overlords, so doesn't care. You can't kill him fast enough. The 3rd base is actually up though, so I don't know, like if we look at the units, workers killed, we got 6 workers killed for RCP. He killed a lot of units though, and he hasn't lost too many units himself, but actually I guess the worker count tells the biggest story here. Yeah, and he's getting his 3rd base too. So if we look at the income tab, there's actually quite a big difference. Even though there's 3 bases here, this is just such a big difference of harvesters that it doesn't matter. RCP is still going to be ahead. Now the Dark Templar's out. If he actually Okay, well, one of them has been out for a while. I'm just gonna get a couple of shots off, but these lurkers are actually super important because there's no detection now. Because Franscar has the tech advantage now, he just doesn't have the numbers advantage when it comes to income and units. I sounded very Swedish there. So Franscar is gonna get this base denied, I think. There's no detection in yet. There's not even... Is there a... No, what am I looking at? I don't know what I'm looking at. There we go. These tabs, man. Yeah, he's gonna deny the space. There we go. There we go. There's the robo. Okay, he has an observatory now, so he should be able to deal with these lurkers soon. He denied the base. I would actually like to see Franscar just pull out with these lurkers now. There we go. A little bit too late. He's gonna probably catch a couple lurkers, especially with this DT here. No, this lurker I think is gonna die. Ooh, so almost dead. Lurkers are actually very fast. They're almost as fast. They're like, it's such a... No, they're exact same speed. Yeah, they're exact same speed as speed loss, actually. Lurkers are really fast. And he heals it up with the queen. Wow, saves that lurker. Really nice. In the meantime, though, he killed the Dark Templar here so he can expand there eventually. So Franscar is actually staying in this game. The supply difference isn't that big anymore. The worker difference isn't that big anymore. And he's got the third base up, but his opponent had to remake it. So that was a really nice little victory for Franscar, who could make his way back into this game. We got RSVP bringing the High Templars and the Observer. Oh, but he's going to try and catch them with the Zerglings. That's really nice pick off for Franscar. He really needs to pull back the rest of the Zerglings, so I don't think that's going to do anything. It's going to get... Yes, he got another High Templar. Has to play Ring Around the Rosies, and he actually survived with a lot of the Zerglings too, and that just triggers an attack from RSVP. Like, he's had enough. You killed my High Templars. It's time for revenge. But without the High Templars, it might not be the best idea. But there's not enough units here. Did he... No, he didn't lose the Observer, but yeah. Not enough units, and Franscar is gonna deal with this. There's some slow Hydralisks, so he needs to get speed on those suckers. They are so slow. Come on. Does he have range? He doesn't have anything for these Hydralisks. But he does have the Overlord speed, which is actually quite important. Because of... Yeah, you don't want to attack that. Well, that's one way of clearing out Scourges. Zerglings to the rescue! Oh wait, can't shoot Corsairs. In the meantime, one incredibly annoying Zergling is going to do some damage here. Just want to make sure everything's right with like the stream and stuff. Yeah, people don't seem to be complaining too much about that. So Franscar is getting his fourth base up. At the same time, RSVP is going to get his fourth base up. So Franscar is sending a very nice little cost-effective group of Zerglings over there. I really like that. Like, he doesn't have a lot right now. His army is very thin. So just these little groups of Zerglings everywhere, being annoying, incredibly efficient versus RSVP right now, who has a big army, but he has to pull it every which direction to defend. These Zerglings just need to go a little bit closer, though. So these Zerglings, oh, they're gonna get a High Templar. Really nice. I thought he was gonna send another group down here to the natural, but he's not. But in the meantime, he's gonna cancel this base. Franscar playing really well. Wow, this is so interesting to see. Like last game, we saw RSVP like really shine with an incredibly nice build. This game, we're seeing Franscar really shine by coming back from a really rough start where he lost so many overlords and he had a really hard time getting like workers and army up. But he's gonna pick off another base and get his own up at the same time, and there's really no Dark Templar here even to try and harass this base. In the meantime, he's getting a lot of lurkers, a lot of hydras. He's getting Adrenal Advance. He has Hive Tech already?
Yo.
It's incredible. Hey, who's this?
Can we talk about this one Zergling that got away from that whole army of Dragoons for a second? Like, holy shit. What a hero.
I actually didn't notice that, but that's pretty cool. So that was Rifkin coming in with the one Zergling. That's awesome. So we got another group of Zerglings going into the natural of RSVP, and man, doing so much damage there as well. Well, the real damage that was done here is that RSVP has to pull his army back once again. It's actually picking up Dragoons now. He doesn't have Adrenal Advance yet. Wow. This is without Adrenal Advance. That's crazy. Look at that. Dragoons killing Zerglings, like, they might as well kill siege tanks faster than they kill Zerglings. They're so bad at killing Zerglings. And again, whoa, a lot of Storm though to clean up this. But there's a couple of... Oh, he has one more Storm. You have one more song in you. Let it out. No, he didn't let it out. Oh. this actually gonna cancel the Nexus? No. It's gonna be so... Whoa, that was so low. Like, that was down on 5 life for a second there. But Franscar is doing a really good job here of just staying in the game. He's still not ahead. He's like way far away from being ahead. He still has less workers. He has way less supply. But he's stabilizing. He's getting slowly back in. He's sending out another group of Zerglings. They're unfortunately going to be spotted here, but that might be enough because this base is so low, but there's a lot of Zealots here left to defend. I don't think it's going to do it. They have Adrenal Glance though. Never underestimate Zerglings with Adrenal Glance. Let's see if they can do it. They're going in the wrong direction. If they had like got one is not enough. Almost. In the meantime, RSVP is going to deny this base. That's very nice of him. He's remade his Corsair account, which is actually very important and something I very rarely see players do. Oh, this is going to be very interesting. We have Franscar with a drop, and we have RSVP with Corsairs. But before they come, Franscar is chasing them away with very slow Hydralisks. But here comes the attack though, so it's going to be very hard for Franscar to defend versus this. No, he's going to go for it. And the drop is going to go unnoticed because they did chase away those Corsairs. That was such a crucial move to move those Hydralisks down and make sure there weren't any Corsairs there. That was crazy good. So here comes a ton of Cracklings. They can kill the production of RSVP so fast. He has to pull back. In the meantime, he can try and get this base up, which I think he will. Very good moves here from Franscar. Let's see how fast he can kill buildings. And the answer is pretty fast. He's gonna lose these Overlords though, probably. Man, there's so many dead buildings, and RSVP's gonna be supply blocked. He's maxed out though, pretty much. If he can just muster up one big offensive versus Franscar, but he can't really catch a break. He's gonna kill all the Overlords though, so both are incredibly supply blocked. Red numbers everywhere. He's gonna try and get this base up. He has two drones to do so, he just needs to make it. But that was good. He killed a lot of production, killed a lot of supply. Almost got this base again. But he's getting Defilers with Consume as well. So Franscar is getting ready for the late game. Ready and late game becomes ready. Yeah, something like that.
Wow, nice English.
Thank you. I like your spontaneous once in a while cast. He needs to burrow those lurkers. Burrow them for the love of everything. That's good and right in this world. There we go. But it's 3 lurkers, can hold quite a bit, but not as maxed out Protoss army. But maybe with some help. Oh, actually, okay. So RCP is attacking on 2 fronts at the same time with partially burrowed lurkers defending. But he's actually Franscar did chase away this part of the army, which is surprising because that's a huge army and that's not a lot of defenses. But I guess there's one observer there too. But they want to help their buddies over here, I guess. And RCP actually is winning on all fronts now. And if he can just get all his army together and mount one big offensive, I think he can just crush Franscar in this position. Franscar's been struggling the whole game with just getting a lot of units, and he still doesn't really have it. He's been doing a good job making sure this attack would come as late as humanly possible, but now it's here on his front door, and I don't think he can deal with it. He could deal with it now better than he could before, but I still think he can't deal with it as well as he wants to. The 3 lurkers are repositioning, and actually RSVP somehow lost his observer.
Can we talk about how the Corsairs killed every single freaking Overlord on the map, and he's down to 68 supply cap? Oh my god.
You want to talk about so many things, Ricky.
I'm sorry, I can't. My fucking throat. But that's actually really amazing. Like, I don't know why the Overlords were all there, but those Corsairs did work, man.
I think he was getting ready for like drop play. That's why they were there. By the way, Franscar is actually gonna maybe save this base for those. He needs to move those lurkers like really fast. No, he's not gonna save this base. He's gonna try though. But in the meantime, we got like little small troops of RCP everywhere, just hitting everything. And those lurkers are very awkwardly placed outside of range. Okay, there we go, lurkers. But there is an observer here, so I don't think they're gonna do too much damage, to be honest. Lurkers are doing surprisingly well against Dragoons this game, though.
Hit the hatchery one time. There we go. Thank God.
I know what it is like when you're a caster, you see something like, I want to say this. Anyway, so Franscar is just scraping, and there we go. GG. RSVP is victorious yet again in a much closer game than the last one. Slow clapping there from Rifkin.